And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, Director at WEIU. Today we're talking all things Charleston's Red, White, and Blue Days. Betty Johnson Coffrin on the Red, White, and Blue Days Committee is here.
Hello, how are you?
Scoot up the mic just a little bit, Betty,
Okay.
please. And Lori Henderson is here. She is the Director of Tourism and Special Events at the City of Charleston. Welcome, Lori. And again,
Thank you.
have you scoot that microphone a little closer to you, please?
Thank you.
So I appreciate ladies being in. Why don't we talk about maybe both of your duties before we get into some of the fun stuff? So.
I'm a volunteer. I've been for quite a few years. Lori's the one that's got the official duties, but no, I'm just one of a great committee.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really all volunteers that puts this together, and it's just amazing. It's amazing what they're able to do. There are so many moving parts to this event. There are so many pre-events, and it's incredible that a volunteer group can do this and put this together.
I bet, and you know a lot of the background of the Red, White, and Blue Days. Talk a little bit about when it started, and do you believe it's still going on here in 2025?
It's hard to believe, but well, actually, in 1991, when President Bush at that time declared a National Day of Celebration, and that was because this, of Operation Desert Storm, the local National Guard units that were activated, a group of parents got together basically as an informational group just to kind of share information, what we hear from our families overseas. And then we decided at this National Day of Celebration we'd just have a little event at the park and dedicate a little monument to the Desert Storm veterans and maybe a little parade. Well, then it just has grown and grown and grown. And I've always laughed if anybody on that committee wanted to leave, they can't. And we have children of the original members. So
And you've been with us since day one, right?
Since day one,
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Well, I know the event actually starts this week, even though people think about it as July 3rd and 4th, but a couple of events this coming weekend. You want to talk about the car show at Morton Park, and then, of course, the Butch Hackett Memorial Bingo on Sunday. So.
Right. The car show is one of those things that's just come up in the last couple of years. There's a nice young couple's decided to host that, and they've had great turnout and great success, and so far great weather, just except for one. But a lot of interest, and a lot of people like to come through there and look at the cars and bikes and trucks, and yeah.
What are the details on that on Saturday, and can people still get in?
Oh yeah. They're registered at the day of the show. I think it's I don't have the amount here, but it's $15 registration.
$15 to register, $10 for motorcycles.
Right, and so there's come up the registration comes from 9 to 10:30, and then they do the awards at 1.
And that's also in Morton Park, correct?
It's all there at Morton Park. It's on the east side, on the street where the food vendors will be the next few days.
Cool. And then, of course, on Sunday at the VFW, the Butch Hackett Memorial Bingo. We wish Bush was here today. He would be here all those years he was on this show with us.
Oh, you betcha. And we miss him. But actually, it goes back to what I originally said. His dad, Harold, was on the original committee. Yeah. And came up with this idea of this bingo, as a fundraiser, and that's one of our primary fundraisers. And so we just started doing and it's the old-fashioned hard card bingo. That bingo enthusiasts know the difference between a hard card bingo and a dauber bingo. This is the hard cards, so Butch took over from his dad, Harold, and now we have Dave, the younger brother, taking over so that's why we call it the Hackett Memorial Bingo. And the prizes, I'm just floored. We've got some really nice prizes.
Can you give us a couple examples of what people have donated?
Well, let's see. We got a really nice gift basket from one of our local banks. First Neighbor Bank gave a really nice gift basket of just different fireworks and that kind of thing. It's cute. The one car supply place has donated a car cover and a truck cover, and
nice.
Things like that. A lot of gift cards. We've gotten gift cards for free drinks, free sandwiches, free this, free that. We got a lot of gift cards. So everybody that is there is going to actually have something that's in addition to what they win playing bingo.
And then, Lori, from the city standpoint of view, you talk about what this means, Red, White, Blue Days, to the city of Charleston.
Oh, well, I mean, a community event like this that is free, that anyone can attend, right in the middle of town, so easy access, walkable for a lot of people, plenty of parking, a great central location, beautiful park, Morton Park, the Charleston.
A little closer to you, please.
Closer?
Yeah.
The Charleston Township does an incredible job with Morton Park. That's beautiful, and they have the beautiful banners and flowers for it to look festive. So that venue is just perfect. This is a time, that, like I said, all socioeconomic classes can come together. Anyone can attend this. We hope to have visitors from out of town, obviously. We want out-of-town visitors to come and enjoy this with us as well.
Better chance of that with the Friday being the 4th and
Yes.
the long weekend and
yes,
stuff.
Yes, and having all these pre-events,
Yeah.
so there are, there's a little something for everyone. We've tried to include families, kids, car enthusiasts, music enthusiasts. There's a little something for everyone. So we're very excited and very grateful for all these volunteers.
So let's start thinking about what's going to happen in Charleston on July 3rd and 4th. Betty, let's take us through July 3rd and when it starts and what people can expect that day.
Well, we start out with we're going to have the food vendors there. We've got, and of course, 4th of July committee's ice cream, all you can eat for $3, ice cream, games, inflatables, just lots of activities. And the bubbles come on the 4th or the 3rd?
The 3rd. There's a bubble
3rd.
party on the 3rd from 4 to 6. So kids and adults all will like that. And it's participatory. They'll have items that kids can and people can pick up and use, and so lots of bubbles.
Yeah, it looks like fun, but
How many different food vendors and things like that are going to be there?
Well, we've got, I'll speak to half of it. For the not-for-profits, we've got 3. We've got the Knights of Columbus, Central Christian Church, and the Moms Club of Southeast Central Illinois or whatever, so those are our non-profits. They will be in and the ice cream. I'm sorry, all the all-you-can-eat ice cream. So we have 4 groups in the pavilions in the park, and then the food trucks.
Yeah, so we have some retailers, some food vendors that will be on 2nd Street, and that is Sweet Teas, Beverage, and Grandma Teas, pretzels, soft pretzels, Bubba's Burgers, and House of Brisket. So they will all be set up on 2nd Street, and they'll be there both days.
Both days, okay.
Yeah.
And then at 7 o'clock, there's a free concert with Rockland Road before the main concert. So you were joking before, Rockland Road's got a cool story, but talk a little bit about Rockland Road and what people can expect at 7 that night.
Well, Rockland Road, this is what I just read today, as a matter of fact, but they are basically it's a family group. The father is used to be a member of Exile. You're going to make me read this, say this without reading it. Used to be a member of Exile. Their mother was a backup singer with the, the Oak Ridge Boys, yes. And so it's basically 2 parents, 4 kids, and they they tour quite a bit. And from what I understand from the people that have heard them, they're just an amazing group. So it's very entertaining.
Do they know they're warming up for Exile with him being out, not in Exile?
Exactly, yeah, and they are. It doesn't bother them a bit.
That's cool as heck.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a nice show.
And then Exile plays right after them, 8 o'clock,
That's right.
July 3rd.
Yes.
A band that a lot of people maybe don't remember, but, when you think about some of their late 70s, early 80s, 10 number 1 songs, including Kiss You All Over, which we'll play at the end of the show. But, and it also, people remember it from the song, it was in Happy Gilmore.
The movie.
So talk about the process of getting Exile and how excited you are to see Exile come to Charleston.
Well, I'm excited just because of the fact that they're a proven group. They've got a nice following. We get a lot of interest in the social media posts and that sort of thing. People that I like them, and we've got someone coming. People are coming from out of town, so it's nice. But I like our budget is we have to work within a small budget, and It was so far so good. We've had some pretty nice entertainment for the amount of money that we have. And the difference is we don't charge admission. It's a free concert, so we have to come up with the money to pay the band, the sound, the all of the backstage needs, meals, rooms, transportation, whatever. So it's just but we do it. And
now, on the night of the concert, I mean, should people bring their own chairs? Or are there some chairs out there? Talk about the rules.
There is no seating out there. There are some picnic tables here and there, but we recommend everybody bring a chair or blanket, whatever. Support our vendors and just come out and enjoy the evening.
The difference between you and a lot of other festivals is it's a free concert, so
free.
Which is kind of cool. And you get a band that has 10 number one songs in the late 70s, early 80s, mostly in the country genre, but a little poppy too. They're not a real twangy country.
Right, they started out as a pop group, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Lori, from the city's aspect, when you know there's a band coming, I mean, do you guys provide extra security, police? What does the city do?
Oh, sure. It's all coordinated. Yes. This committee is great about staying in touch with the police department, fire department, and they all have parts to play as well. So it is definitely a all hands on deck and everybody participating. And oh yeah, we'll have lots of officers and cars in the park itself that
And the
night.
street department too is
Street
phenomenal.
department too.
They do a lot of roadblocks and that sort of thing.
Coordination is it's a well-oiled machine by this point.
I like it. Then Independence Day, July 4th, lots of stuff from really morning till the fireworks. So talk about what's going to happen out there on July 4th at Red, White, and Blue Days 2025.
Well, the first thing that comes up in the morning is at 7 a.m. the American Legion, Charleston American Legion, is going to have their pancake breakfast. That's kind of becoming an annual event for the last 5 years or so, and it's a nice addition. The vendors will be out there starting at 10 a.m., the ice cream, the food vendors that, you say all the food trucks will still be there?
Food trucks will still be there.
Okay, and I don't know how many of the not-for-profits. I think that depends on whether they sell out on the 3rd or not. But there'll be inflatables there, fire hose. That's when the Charleston Fire Department has a fire hose there on Division Street, and they just have a lot of fun, a foam pit and that sort of thing. The chalk-in starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, we've got the pet parade at 9:30. That's always fun because the police department are the judges. And I don't know which officer. I don't know which, the canine officer. I'm not sure, but it's not just for dogs. It's for we've had every pet imaginable in that pet parade.
Even snakes?
I don't know about snakes, but we've had turtle in a bucket.
Yeah, those are fine.
Let's see, a pygmy goat. Yeah. So anyway, but it's just fun. It's a fun little parade, and then we go into the annual parade at 1 o'clock 1 o'clock.
And you're expected around 50 entries, and people have a deadline, kind of a soft deadline to get in.
We want everybody to be able to just join in, and but we do have we'd like to have a parade entry, and so we can give them the rules of the parade and that sort of thing. So if they want to be in the parade, let us know right away. But and we're going to probably have about 80 units in the parade. It's going to be nice.
Then at 2 o'clock, the patriotic bell ringing, and you usually have a mini celebrity or somebody from the community do that?
We do, and we don't have that nailed down just yet, but we will, make that known.
Break some news today.
I know. Well, backing up to the night of the 3rd, I thought he'd guess that famous question. We do have the coronation of the Little Miss and Mr. Firecracker and the Farmer of the Year.
Okay. Who's the Farmer of the Year?
I told you. We don't know.
We can't.
You know, you just don't want to tell me. Well, I didn't ask this year. 20 years of straight not getting the answer. I've given. That's cool.
Yeah.
Those are both nice.
But the participation in the Little Miss and Mr. has picked up this year.
Yeah.
The number of contestants.
It's crazy. Pageants are something that so many people are into. I mean, I know that when I used to work Cromwell Radio eons ago, and I mean, we'd get, the first day you'd sell out. People are like, why can't I get my kid in? And we can only do something. It's tough. I mean, people like to do that and show their kids off and things like that. Well, sure. Yeah. And then at dusk, between the city of Mattoon and Charleston, they have the fireworks that night out at the airport. Same rules, I assume, and all that applies.
Same rules. We will have free shuttles from leaving Mattoon from the Cross County Mall and leaving Charleston from O'Brien, starting at 5. Gates open at 5. They will also have food vendors on the airport grounds. Parking will be available at the airport, but I do encourage people to consider the shuttle. It's free, and you don't have to worry about your car and the parking and being in line.
Waiting 4 hours?
Waiting, yeah. So I hope people take advantage of that shuttle.
I think it's one of the cool things that when you see the cities who, whatever you want to call it, competition, but when they really come together on the 4th of July and work well
It's very nice.
with the different sides of the county. Can you talk a little bit about that, Lori, from your point of view?
Yeah, so the Mattoon Tourism and Charleston Tourism are the primary funders of that fireworks display. So we work together. I have to give really full credit to Mattoon. They do all the heavy lifting and the actual prep and getting people registered and entered. Our parks crew is taking care of lining the airport. Sounds like a small thing, but it means a lot to get the airport grounds lined for parking. It makes it go so much smoother. So our parks crew is doing that. So we all pitch in, the fire department, police departments, street departments. We come over, our street department comes over and runs the street sweeper to clean up the tarmac. So it's very much a partnership between Mattoon and Charleston.
Cool. And then, Betty, when you think about putting on July 3rd and 4th Red, White, and Blue Days here in Charleston, about how many people does it take, volunteer-wise, to pull off this event?
You would probably be surprised at how small our committee
Yeah.
is. But I'm going to say we've got about, 8 people that are, but everybody has their own job. I mean, that's their job. They do it, and we don't even have to worry about it. But, it's actually a pretty small group that we.
But they all reach out to different groups to
Oh,
kinda
sure.
do their
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Makes sense. Is there any, is the city more involved than it was before in terms of the Red, White, and Blue Days and being together or not?
I this is only my third. Well, I guess this is my fourth. My third year in the position. My fourth. My fourth of July. So I can't speak to the past. But it's been a great working. I've had a great time. I'm so impressed with the committee and the work they do. It runs smoothly from my point of view.
Yeah. When we started out, as I mentioned, this small group of parents, basically an informational group about our troops. And we did it for years, just this group, we got a little bit bigger and we decided we needed to probably have some liability insurance, so we would have to buy a liability policy for that day, those 2 days. It was July 3rd and 4th. And it just got to be where it was really difficult without, not difficult, but we could have made it, but that was one of the initial things we had to cover, liability. Then the city reached out, and I cannot remember for the life of me which mayor said, why don't you come under the city umbrella, under the Parks and Rec, or Park Department or whatever, and I think it was rec department at that time, or they weren't together. But and that was really a good thing. It was a blessing to be able to just kind of, we don't have to, and the resources.
There you go. That's nice. And then, do you want to mention some of the big sponsors that make this thing happen?
Well, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm trying to envision that sign. Oh, looky there, she has
Lori
to.
comes through. Class of '84, Matthew.
I know. Yeah, of course, Rural King, Sarah Bush Lincoln, People's Bank and Trust. The Adams Memorials have been with us since day one. They did the original monument that we dedicated at this little ceremony that we were going to have the first 4th of July. First Mid-Bank, Lifetime Eye Care, Arby's, First National Bank.
That's a good group.
Many, many more. But
when you get ready
that's what I can read from here.
Yeah, and then groups like the VFW, Women of the Moose.
Right.
We have individual donors that just bring a little bit of money by. The Charleston Area Charitable Foundation provides a grant. Charleston Tourism Advisory Board provides a grant. So there's some grant funding in addition to the private funding.
I left out the big ones. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We got them.
It's tough to remember everything when you're in charge of this stuff. We have a few minutes left here with Lori Henderson and Betty Johnson Coffrin. I don't know where my brain's going. What are your expectations every year when you think about it's kicking off this weekend with the 2 events, but then next weekend is the big one? So,
I'm more concerned about just everybody, get their job done. I don't have to worry about it, actually, but it's just a matter of everything coming together. And it will. This next Wednesday is our last meeting together, and that's just going to be basically this is done, it's all taken care of. One of my personal favorites of the whole event is when we get the main act on the stage, and you're able to look from the side of the stage and look out at the crowd and see the number of people that are out there just really enjoying the music and the park and the event. And
you can take a deep breath, maybe?
Yeah. And I just hope they eat a lot of ice cream, which is one of our fundraisers, and play bingo.
I like that. And Lori, from your point of view? I mean, what do you
like Betty said, it's just very heartening to see the crowd, to see the folks, because it's always a family affair. So there's always kids and people of all ages out in the park, and dancing, singing, and that's very rewarding to know that all that hard work has meant that folks can enjoy something like this.
Well, and the kids with the hose, the children with the hose, and some of the adults, and bubbles, and running through the inflatables. Last year the foam pit, we had a new inflatable slide, and they get in that foam. Oh my gosh, I've never seen kids just having so much fun.
That's awesome.
They were just having a ball.
Are you up for new events if somebody comes to the committee meeting or sends you an idea, or what's the rules on that?
You bet. No, we're open to anything. Just like with the car show, this couple came up with this idea, and Bucky and Callie Reddish, they've just been, and they like doing it, and they want to continue to do it. So no, absolutely, bring your ideas.
Park rules, things that people should follow.
Well, there's no alcohol in the park. Basically, I think that's about it. I don't think fireworks, I don't know if they encourage that. There's a sign.
Yeah.
There used to be a sign. I don't know if it's still there or not about no fireworks.
It's discouraged. Same thing with the airport. That's not allowed to have sparklers. Or
Dogs on a leash or no dogs, or what's the pet rule?
Pets on a leash, I think.
Leash.
But that's,
Okay.
But and that's a big crowd, so it's really not really comfortable for a pet to.
And loud.
Yes, very loud.
The other thing is, obviously, we can tell that it's starting to be event season because it's 95 degrees.
Yes, 110.
So weather looks like it's going to be warm all the way, at least through this coming weekend. I haven't looked yet to the July 3rd and 4th.
Oh, I looked today.
Yeah,
and it looks okay. I mean, a slight chance, but we do that all the time. And I just channeled one of our original committee members that said it's not going to rain. I prayed. It's okay.
Do you set goals like for events like this? You want to sell 500 ice creams, or you want to see 1,500 people at the concert, or
not really. We just not that I'm aware
It's
of.
kind of a if you build it, they come. So
okay.
I mean, we always want to see more at the concert because that's a big ticket item, and we want people there to enjoy that. So we always want to fill the park with a crowd for that concert.
And Exile plays at 8 o'clock sharp on July 3rd, right after Rockland Road at Morton Park, in case you are just tuning in to Issues and Attitudes today. How long is the planning event? Do you take a few months off after it's over, or do you automatically start 2026, after a week or so?
Well, we take a little time off. There's a little downtime. One of the reasons for that is the entertainers that we have to look at. They are still touring, and they're building their base and their prices, setting their prices. So we don't even know what we can afford until they start, in the, I don't know, I think it was about March, I think, when we started looking at acts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an all-year thing that you had to do, so you do get some time. You have to worry about it all the time. That's
I do know one thing that we can't ever afford, and that is I was joking with our booking agent, and I said, these people are fine, just as long as they'll work if I can't have Shabuzi. Well, I found out Shabuzi gets like $750,000. That's all for one hit. Okay, so we're setting our sights on Shabuzi next year.
There you go. We need that big donor for Shabuzi. Play Tipsy Elf 3 or 4 times a year. That's funny. Biggest challenge of this event from Betty and Lori's, what's the biggest obstacle that you have to overcome?
I think probably fundraising is always I don't call it an obstacle, but it's always it's work.
Right.
It's hard work, and you're never 100% certain that. So that's always a little uncomfortable. Will we get this? Will we get that? So fundraising is always I wouldn't say obstacle.
It's just something that we have to do.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of there's so many events, and there's just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. On the fundraising aspect, do you each take part of it, or is there a fundraising part of the committee, or does it just kind of, somebody knows somebody?
No, we have just the people that we were talking about today that donate. We have our regular donors, we have, individual donors, and the grants that we get. We're always looking for new businesses that might want to become a part of this event, donate toward the event. I have to chuckle you talk about a challenge, not really a challenge, but when you go out and get donations, and then you go out and get bingo prizes, and by the time this rolls around, people see us walking in the store, and it's like, oh, them.
They're back.
We're busy. That's funny. How do you market it? And I guess when the other part of marketing it is, you want new people. You don't want the same old people every year. You want them to come back, obviously. But how do you market this to get new folks to try Red, White, and Blue Days?
Well, we just basically do our advertising that we've done in the past, newspaper, radio, TV, try to get the word out there to the media, try to get as much free press as possible, but then we do a lot of paid advertising as well. And that's another thing that we have to have funds for.
Funding for advertising.
Okay. What do you look forward to the most, on July 4th? On the day when, Red, White, and Blue Days is coming to an end in the afternoon, kind of. What do you look forward to that day?
Well, I enjoyed the bell ringing. I like to see the parade when it finally sets off from the square and starts down. And that's I think the concert, that's so festive. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun, and it really gets people on their feet and the crowd cheering. And I know the last couple of years during the merchandise sales, it's heartening to see the folks come up and say, "We're so glad you do this. This was so much fun. We had such a great time." So getting that feedback from the audience is
and people
special.
like free. Let's face it. I mean, mostly in the world we live today, where everything is up. I mean, Red, White, Blue Days still not charging for tickets.
But we do ask the people that come out there to support our vendors. They're out there to try to make money for their own projects. Buy merchandise from the entertainers. That helps them out. Come on out.
All right, we have a minute left to reiterate. It all starts this Saturday, car show at Morton Park. Then Sunday is the Butch Hackett Memorial Bingo at the VFW. I think it's a 2 o'clock start, if I'm right.
Right.
Yeah. And then July 3rd will be Rockland Road, followed by Exhale.
1 o'clock.
Bingo's 1, yeah.
1 o'clock?
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
charlestonillinois.org/RWB days. All the schedules there.
Okay, that's where people go. I was going to ask you if people wanted information available.
Yeah, it's also on Facebook. It's just...
Yeah. Any last thoughts or suggestions? We have about 30 seconds left for Lori and Betty to talk about Red, White, and Blue Days.
Just come to the park, enjoy, come to the car show, play bingo, eat ice cream.
Lori, from the city standpoint?
Yeah, come out and see this concert for sure.
All right, speaking of cars, one silly question. Your first car, Betty, was?
Oh, my first car?
Yep.
Oh, do I have to say the year?
Yes.
It was a 1954 Chevy Bel Air, I think.
Nice.
Lori?
It was a Chevy Monza, which I think they only made for a few years. I think it was maybe an 82.
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, for coming in. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day. We are WEIU. Here is Exile.